So you learn an awful lot about the power of a team.
Yeah.
You learn that there are various players on the team that can contribute. When you first get started as a young person in business, you don't have much influence. The 5 F's typically are faith, family, friends, fitness, and finances.
Welcome. Today on Advice for Ages, we have Tom Wilbur, and we're excited to listen to what he has to say.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here with you, and I'm excited about your project.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
It makes a lot of sense to me to get the advice and listen to resources of various people and share that with others. That's very commendable.
Yeah, I noticed that not a lot of people like to listen to their parents when they're my age, like the teens. So if they find the advice from other people, then they might
that makes
appreciate it more.
sense. Hopefully we can mentor and counsel you in a positive way and help others. So.
Okay, well, you ready to get into the first question?
Sure.
Okay, so Mr. Wilbur, if you have any free time, what grabs your attention, or what do you do?
I'm pretty much involved in, I love to read, I love sports. I was a competitive golfer and basketball player in my earlier life, and those two are kind of interesting dynamics to be involved in. One is a team sport and one's an individual sport. So you learn an awful lot about the power of a team.
Yeah.
You learn that there are various players on the team that can contribute. In golf, you're all by yourself. And it's the only sport, as you know, that you have to call a penalty on yourself if you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a sport of discipline and lots of rules. Basketball and baseball and the other sports I participated in, you're responsible to your teammates.
Yeah.
And you have various people that have different skill sets, and all those skill sets molded together hopefully make the best team.
I do a semi-team sport and a individual sport. Tennis is more individual.
Yeah.
It does go to a team score,
Sure.
but you're on the court alone. And then cross country is like more teamish.
You call that a team sport?
Somewhat. I mean, it's all comes down to team scoring, and the better your team performs together, like any sport would. It's not as team sport as basketball, but it's more team sport.
Yeah, that's interesting that's the dynamic that you put it in. I would think cross country is very much a mental and physical type of activity that you motivate yourself to get out and run and to compete. So
yeah, I have a friend who runs it with me. I have a few friends that run it with me, and we always, every time we run, we always push each other to go a little bit faster, a little bit longer run, just try to improve every time.
Good.
Yeah. And then, what is one action you just do for fun in your free time?
Well, again, I enjoy reading a lot. Since I was your age or before, I would participate in reading programs at the public library, particularly in the summer. And the University of Kansas actually had a summer reading program through our local library.
Oh, fun.
And when you went to the library, they would have books, mostly novels, the great novels of all time, that would have a little sticker on them. And when you read one of those books, you had to put a sticker on the wall. They would ask you to read between 25 and 50 novels in a summer. So some of the great novels and stuff are quite lengthy.
Yeah.
So you really got to dig in and become a reader. When you live in Salina as a teenager, we didn't have video games, those kind of things. We didn't have computers, and so you would go out and play, but when it got to be 110 outside, it was way cool just to sit down and read a book and go on that journey. I mean, you can go wherever you want to go with a book.
Yeah.
And so I love that very much. When I was about your age, my dad gave me a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's one of the most popular books of all time. There are millions and millions of copies that have sold. And when I read that book, it made me realize that we're all connected in various ways, and that it's important for us to nurture and care about other people and make positive things happen in our relationships in order to be successful in anything that we do.
Yeah.
And so I read a lot of motivational books and a lot of books about truths. I'm a person of faith,
Yeah.
so I read spiritual books and enlightenment books on that journey as well.
Cool.
I love music. I had 4 bands before I was your age. I had 3 bands in grade school and 1 in junior high.
Okay.
And that was born out of the fact that the Beatles showed up on TV one day. And I went to a Beatles movie, and there were, at the Fox, and there were 1,200 screaming girls. And I said, I want to do that. So I had a band in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade. And they were all names. And then for the past 30 years, I've been in a band in Salina called the Last National Band. And we wear Blues Brothers outfits, and we play the music that we grew up with when we were kids.
Oh, that's really cool.
And we've recently kind of retired from all that, but I love playing music. Music is my spiritual and kind of my release outlet, and I play guitar and sing. So
cool. Yeah, I've never been that good at music, so I can't quite connect the same way you did with it.
Yeah,
but I can imagine how.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
We've performed in front of 5 people and 15,000.
Wow.
And so it's really, it has its own set of adrenaline rushes, a lot like when you're competing in sports, when you see 10,000 people dancing at the same time and jumping up and down and smiling and having fun. That's really the end sum game, is that everybody has a really nice time and enjoys the music. So it's something that I really enjoy.
And would you guys write your own songs, or would you?
We have a couple of CDs where we wrote our own songs, but most of the songs that we played were the songs that we loved when we grew up, when we were your age. And so the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and songs from that era. You know, some of those guys. I mean, Mick Jagger turned 82 the other day as the lead singer of the Rolling Stones. So I don't know if he or Keith will ever pass away, but. Yeah, that was the music that we played. It was the music we grew up and we loved, and so we just kept playing it. And so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, do you want to get into the next section?
Sure.
Okay, so you've talked about this a little bit. Your life as my age, like 14, 15, when you were in your teens, what did your days mostly entail?
Up until I was about 14, my mom would drop me up at the golf course in the morning and pick me up at night.
Cool.
We would play anywhere from 54 to 72 holes in a day. We played at the Elks, which is now Great Life, and there was a swimming pool, so sometimes we went over and looked at the pretty girls. But we played a lot of golf, and I played competitively, and I won a number of junior golf tournaments and stuff during that time frame. And then during high school, as an alternative to playing basketball, we won a state championship my junior year in basketball. But as an alternative sport, I played golf in the springtime at Salina Central, and so that was really fun. And a lot of the guys I played basketball against at different cities like McPherson or Junction City or wherever I got to know them better by playing golf with them as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys I still know, and they're still friends. So
yeah. So golf was definitely contributing to that connection sport.
Yeah.
And did you have any? Well, let's move into this more school-wise. What subjects did you like?
I think pretty much everything. Corbin, when I was in 8th grade, they had a writing contest to see who was going to be in the journalism class. And I walked into class, and there were 13 girls and me. When the class opened, I guess we were the top 14 that had been picked, but 13 of them were girls. I think I learned a lot more about girls than I learned about journalism that year. But when you're in a class of all girls and stuff and you're the only guy, it was kind of an awakening when you were in middle school.
Yeah.
After my 8th grade, I was playing basketball and I was growing really fast, and my dad decided to put me to work on his construction crew. And we did concrete construction, and from about 14, 15 on until I was even in college. In the summers, I would work on my dad's construction crew. And when you work in Kansas and the temperature is 115 degrees outside,
Yeah.
and you're pouring concrete all day and it's hot and sweaty, the thing that you learn from hard work like that is you never want to be in the construction business. And my brother and I both went through that program and decided that we didn't want to be in construction. It was something that he worked very hard at and had a good life doing. It just wasn't something we were interested in, but we did work on his construction crew, so it taught us an awful lot about work ethic.
Yeah.
And hard work, and you're not always the most talented person in any environment, but hard work will always get you far.
Yeah.
If you show up on time, if you have a good work ethic, if you pay attention to the people around you and support them the way that a good team would. When you first start in a job, you're a water carrier. You're helping to carry water for the football team and stuff. You don't know enough to be dangerous and stuff, but you work your way up and you become more experienced and you become more learned and you develop relationships with people like a team in any business, and that's how you become successful in your career path. And that when you're young, you don't know exactly what you want to do with your life,
yeah,
and so I always encourage young people to explore all kinds of different things. I never thought that I would be a lifetime banker. It wasn't something that I was actually interested in. And when I got out of college, I went into real estate and I sold real estate, and I really enjoyed that. But it's when you sell a house, you get a commission. When you don't sell a house, you don't get a commission. So the pay sometimes comes and sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
And one day a bank offered me a job to come on, and I thought, I don't want to be a banker. And I went to work for them because of a steady paycheck, and I learned to love the business. I learned that as a bank, I could do positive outreach to people in all kinds of different ways and develop programs that would help people financially, and to make loans to small businesses and to farmers and to manufacturing companies and to individuals to help them, move forward along their pathways of what they wanted to do. And it became a very rewarding career for me.
Yeah.
And as an outreach, I ended up starting my own bank, Bank 6, in 2005. And really it was committed to just trying to be a great vehicle for helping people in Salina. And our motto at the bank was, care about people first, and the rest of the business will follow. So when someone came through the door, we didn't try to sell people something, we just tried to demonstrate that we care about them and help them and their family in any capacity that we could. And we were very successful with that strategy. It wasn't based upon quotas or trying to sell this much this month or trying to coerce or talk somebody into something. Just help people. And we helped people who came in the bank. We helped people who were, we would raise money and stuff for food banks and do the kind of normal things that you do in the community. I served on many nonprofit boards within the community to lend my expertise to helping groups like the Salina Community Theater, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, various organizations that I was involved in, and the Salina Chamber of Commerce. And so you do your time to take your expertise and then help others in the capacity for helping them get to where they need to be. In Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, one of the quotes that he says is, if you help enough people in life get to where they want to be, you'll get to where you need to be. And I think each time you sit down with someone, just like we're sitting down today, we have an opportunity to share ideas with each other. And it may be that today you need to learn from me, or there may be something that you're going to contribute to me today that I'm going to walk away from and take with me that contributes to me. But it's an energy flow and stuff of positivity. And every person that you meet, if you're awakened to that possibility, you'll do really well in life. we may meet today and nothing happens from it.
Yeah.
Or we could meet today and both of our lives are changed for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be in positive expectation of that moment. You have to look for those opportunities and listen and dialogue and discuss, and something may happen that changes everyone's lives. And so I would encourage anyone who's 14 or 50 that with each person that you meet, look for the opportunities and stuff that come from that.
Yeah.
Look for the opportunity to share something with someone that may be of value to them, or be open to the possibility that that person may have come into your life that day, that morning or that afternoon, and they're there to share something with you that would change your life.
So
And I think it makes every encounter a moment of truth. It's kind of exciting. And I can't tell you how many times that I've met someone and been open to the opportunities of the moment. I've been open to listen to what they have to say, and I've experienced great joy and stuff in learning new things and implementing new ideas because someone shared an idea with me. And I think that's a real secret to life. And so one of the things you spoke to me about was connecting.
Yes, being a connector.
So when I look to that, what I look at is stuff that we all have a circle of influence. When you first get started as a young person in business, you don't have much influence. But you are demonstrating a circle of influence with friends and with people your age. And each time that you do one of your meetings here, or each newsletter that you send, or each connection that you do, your circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Successful people understand that that circle of people, that group of people that you've formed together, is part of a group of people that will help you be successful in so many different areas. You just have to ask them.
Yeah.
And most people are very willing to help you if you ask them for help. It doesn't matter who they are. I've asked senators for help. I've asked governors for help. I've asked construction workers for help. I've asked people for lawyers, attorneys, accountants, investment people, and they all help because we're all part of a bond of caring about each other and stuff, and particularly in a faith-based walk. What we're looking for is to love each other and care about each other and help each other in any capacity we can. That's what the Lord tells us to do.
Yeah.
So.
And is this what inspired you to make your model at the bank, to help people?
Absolutely. I think instead of being centered on worrying about how much money you were going to make today, you focus your efforts on how you can help people. On the monetary side of it, the profitability takes care of itself.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Back in years and years ago, I developed a kids savings program for the bank that I was at, and everyone said, well, why would you develop a kids savings program? Kids only have $15 or $20, and when they put it in their account, that's not a meaningful amount of money. That's not going to help your bank very much. They forgot about the fact that when I tell someone I care about their kids, I'm making a statement that I care about them.
Yeah.
And when I care about their kids, they would come in to get a car loan and a home loan and put deposits in, and they would set up an IRA, and they would do all kinds of relationships with us because I made the statement that I care about your kids. So caring about people first is really the crux of everything that I've done in my banking career. I think genuinely helping other people is the part of my faith walk, so I just linked those together.
Yeah, that's really nice. That circle of people that you talked about earlier, is that what you think got you to be such a good connector and getting so many people to be able to help you and you help them and get so many...
Yeah, I think it's the concept that we're all in this together, right? We're going through life together, and there are people who are at different places. Mm-hmm. I know people who are elderly and sick today. I know people who just had a baby. And so we're all part of different walks of life. As an older person, I've had experiences in raising kids. I've had experiences with financing. I've literally financed thousands of homes for people, which I enjoy because it's one of the largest purchases that they'd ever make.
Yeah.
And we try to do that in a way and stuff that makes sense for them and helps them. But every single one of those people count. Mm-hmm. And my philosophy on all these things is no matter what you do, is everything counts. If you're investing and you put $25 a week into an investment account, that counts.
Yeah.
If you go to church once a week and stuff, that counts. If you read a book and that teaches you about AI, or you learn a new AI program today, that counts. And so everything that you do is all part of figuring out ways to leverage what you do and to expand your scope and expand your outreach.
Yeah. And then you sent me 3 quotes earlier, or you sent me a few quotes, and these are the ones that resonated with me. And so I'll just go one by one, and if you want to elaborate on why.
Sure.
The first one is, don't wait to be rescued, be your own hero. What made you think of that?
I was, when I was playing 8th grade basketball, I was growing so fast, big feet were falling all over themselves. And I'd been a really good basketball player in grade school. And all of a sudden, when I was your age, I was falling over my feet. I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
I was just growing too fast. And our shop teacher was our basketball coach.
Oh.
He wasn't exactly the best basketball coach you've ever seen, but he knew a lot about shop. And he was a pretty smart guy. And I was barely playing on the B team in junior high and stuff, and I was really discouraged. And he walked over one day and sat down beside me and said, I had a kid that was on our B team once in junior high, and by the time that he was in high school, he was an all-conference player. And he got up and walked off. And that was his way of telling me and stuff that you don't need rescuing. You just need to get with the program, mm-hmm. focus on getting better and better and better, and good things will happen. I ended up being an all-conference player and then going to be a walk-on at KU and had pretty good basketball skills because he gave me a word of encouragement one day. It wasn't like, you don't need rescuing, you just need to get going and stuff, and you can make positive things happen. So I think that's what that quote's all about.
And that kind of ties back to your work ethic and
absolutely
working hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm grateful to my father for putting me on the construction crew and teaching me about hard work, because there are many situations and stuff where hard work really overcomes other situations, and you just have to bear down and you got to get through it and stuff, and you got to make the positive things happen and stuff, and sometimes it's just a whole bunch of work to get that done. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm grateful for the fact that when I was in middle school and high school, I was working hard. So
yeah. And my second question will be over your quote of, success is living a life you are proud of, and what that looks like for you.
Have you ever heard of the 5 F's?
I don't believe so.
So there are people who have come up with various derivations of the 5 F's, but some people think success is just monetary, that just making a lot of money and stuff is successful. And in the banking business, I've met people that are very, very wealthy that are very unhappy.
Yeah. The
5 F's typically are faith, family, friends, fitness, and finances. So those 5 things, if you think about it for any amount of time, if you give equal weight to those things, instead of just finances, and you said, what are the things that are going to be important to me in life? Clearly my faith is important to me. And you know this, how important family is. Yes. Family is a great part of the Ebert outreach and stuff. Yeah. You guys have a wonderful family with lots of really nice people and good people that help others. finances is clearly important. You want to be responsible with your finances. Fitness, you should stay in good shape, although I'm an old guy now, and that's not my strong suit today. But I have, and I consider friends to be equally important. I have friends from grade school that I correspond with regularly. I was in a fraternity at college, and the guys that were in my pledge class in college, there's 40 guys, and we know where every guy is. We have each other's email address, we have each other's phone number, and we regularly talk to see how each other's doing.
Yeah.
So I think within the framework of that and stuff, that's what that's all about and stuff. It's part of that connection thing.
Yeah, and I can see how that lines up with your circle of people.
Yeah,
idea.
it does. It really
connects.
does.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things just are really tied together. The moment of truth encounters, the connectivity, the helping other people get to where they want to get to, friends, relationships, family, all that. And then, so those are what are called the 5 F's.
Yeah.
And there are permutations of that. People have come up with different ideas, and there's been books written about the 5 F's, and people look at things in different ways. But I guess my point is, if you focus on one thing in life and you consider that to be the only thing that you'd be successful with, if everything you did every single day was just focused on money, and you didn't have family, and you didn't have friends, and you didn't have faith, and you didn't have your health,
yeah,
life isn't worth very much.
Yeah,
and so all those things together would be what I would consider to be a successful life.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. We just have one more quote, and then we'll go into our last question
Okay.
for today. The last quote is, "You don't need to have it all figured out, just take the next step."
Yeah, explore, adventure, read, study. Do you know that when I was in high school, we didn't have a colored TV? Yeah, we had black and white TVs. We had wired phones. There was no such thing as a cell phone. Personal computers were developed when I was in high school and college, and no one could afford one. The classes that I took in college on computers wouldn't make 5 cents worth of difference today because no one uses the languages that we studied.
Yeah.
In junior and high school at Salina Central, our physics teacher told us that you never know when you're going to be somewhere where you need to do some calculations and you need to learn how to use a slide rule. Have you ever seen a slide rule?
I don't believe so.
It's a mechanical device that you slide back and forth and try to interpret numbers. It was completely, I've never seen one since high school because calculators did the information on your watch.
Yeah.
In seconds. Developing for engineers, cosines and sines and all the various technical, mechanical type of equations. You'd take the slide rule and you'd move it back and forth and interpret all these things, and like 45 minutes later you'd come up with the number 8 and it was really 6. And now on a calculator you go cosine 248 and it gives you the number. So speed, technology, and all those things change so quickly these days.
It's crazy to think what it'll look like in another.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Even in the next couple years, AI models and stuff right now are taking the place of hundreds of thousands of workers. The trades, people that work with their hands, who are mechanics and home builders and those kind of things, are going to be much more in demand than middle management people going forward. And I can tell you this, if I was your age, I would focus at least a third of my educational time on learning every AI program that's available today. And I would argue that 2 years from now, a lot of those AI programs will actually be obsolete, but they can help you get to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. You use AI agents. And AI agents are basically algorithms that take your world and download everything that you do on a daily basis and bring that data together 1,000 times faster than what you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then you monitor it and you move forward. So speed of delivery and knowledge and stuff are going at quantum paces.
Yeah.
And if you want to be successful from now on, you need to know everything there is to know about AI. And there are many programs out there, like there's 30-day programs right now that you can take online where you can learn 30 different AI programs in 1 month. Mm-hmm. You have to do it. You have to do it. And we're all trying to figure out what AI is going to do and blah, 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 blah. And as AI has evolved, we first started with, well, you can't possibly write a thesis or a paper with AI. I think it'll come to the fact of you need to use AI to write your thesis.
Yeah.
It'll be the tool which helps you write whatever you're going to write, and you go back and you correct and fix for it and stuff. But I think knowing how to use AI will be way more important than writing the thesis. The biggest issue for AI is that you have to have good data. And if you use a data pool that's got all kinds of problems in it, mm-hmm. and you run an AI program, you take bad data, you'll get bad results. Yeah. And so the pool that you have to use for your AI model and stuff has to be one based upon integrity of and non-compromised data. Yes. Otherwise, you just get a mess. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know how you can be successful in the future without being an AI expert, even in investments. I think what will happen within the next couple of years is you'll put an AI agent model together and use AI to make your trades and stuff on stocks all day long, and it'll see that something's going up a little bit, it'll buy it, and then when it goes up a little more, it'll sell it, and it'll just do that by the thousands of transactions all day long. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Well, are you okay to move into our last question? Sure. Okay, my last question today is if you had a billboard you wanted every 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old in the world to see, what would you want it to say? You can take a moment to think. I would say, love one another, learn AI, and hug your family. That's what my billboard would say. And you kind of mentioned these points as you went along, but do you want to give us a little in-depth why you chose those right now for the billboard? Loving one another and stuff is the golden rule, and mm-hmm. it's the dynamic and the variable that you can't compromise. We need to care about each other and love each other, and we need to feed the hungry and help the sick and all the variable things that we can do in any capacity that we can. Yeah. Hugging your family is all about the fact that life is very short, and people come and go. My father died a few years ago, and as everyone does, you wish they were still here, but death is as big a part of life. They're both, they coexist. And learning AI and stuff is just what I would tell anyone your age and stuff, that if you aren't on it already, you're way behind. To be successful moving forward, you need to use the power and the tools of the dynamics and stuff of being able to bring information together quickly and expand your scope and your horizons. You know, AI's replaced search engines, and with the appropriate 5 sentences, you know, you and I could write a book together and stuff with AI today. Yeah. We could write a book today. And all we would have to do is give it the appropriate search words, and AI would have it finished for us, and we could publish it on Amazon at $9.95 and see how many we sold. Yeah. And it's just it's the use of the leverage of family and friends and resources and the circle of influence and the AI world, putting all those things together, putting those to work for you in the ways that are congruent with who you are as a person and your set of values. Yeah. So that makes more sense. You're really fortunate and stuff to have such a wonderful family. Yeah. They care about you so much and stuff. I meet a lot of folks who don't have any family at all. I'm working with a young lady right now whose parents left her on the streets of Mexico when she was 8 years old. and she's a single parent mom right now, and we just helped her get her American citizenship. And it's challenging, single parent mom, and she is in the medical field, but now she's an American citizen. That's a great leap that we were able to make happen for her, just to help her out. So she's in my sphere of influence. She's someone that I care about. She's someone that I won't let fall, and if she trips, I'll help her get back up. And I think that's what we're asked to do.
Yeah, I think that is really good. Well, that concludes all my questions. Do you have anything else you want to cover today?
I don't. I just, again, want to commend you for doing what you do.
Yeah,
And I hope that with each person that the narrative comes through to young people that this is pretty special, and that the guidance that they're getting from all different people from all different walks of life can be something that they can use and grab onto and really continue to grow and prosper. Try new things, be adventurous, look for other opportunities to try different things in life, to expand your scope and to feel alive and challenged and in relationships in a positive way. Because life has a lot of great things to offer. We see 3-second blips all day long of shiny, happy people who are happier than we are, and we think somehow that we're supposed to measure up to all those media ideas. And life isn't about that. It's about loving and caring other people, helping other people, and making good things happen in the world.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yep. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you for joining me today.
You bet.